One question a young lady asked is, she said, so when you buy a franchise, I guess it really means that you're not an entrepreneur. And I said, oh, no, absolutely not. Actually, if you look up the definition. So you want to own a business, but you're just not really sure where to start. I did a workshop this past weekend at an event called Women Creating Wealth and Impact. Many powerful women coming together, and they had some really great questions that I had never thought of. Why don't I start a business from scratch as opposed to buying a franchise? Well, you could start a business from scratch. What many people fail to realize is that when you're buying a franchise, you are buying something that is already a proven model. So you really are starting something from scratch, but you're getting to bypass a lot of the mistakes that people have made when they start a business. When you look at buying a franchise, you get to have the playbook given to you. When you're starting a business from scratch, you get to make all the rules. You get to create your logo, you get to create all the systems, and you get to make the mistakes on the marketing and those kinds of things. So I like to look at buying a franchise as you are going into business for yourself, but you are not going into business by yourself. And I think about when you're looking at the playbook has the marketing is proven. You also have the supply chain is all figured out. The training is figured out. Many times it's done in modules to just make it easier for you. The advantages too of buying a franchise is you don't have to be the marketing expert. You don't have to be the SOP expert, standard operating procedures. You don't even have to many times come up with your own KPIs, which I think is amazing. You have people that are going to help you. If you are looking at buying a plumbing business, or if you are looking at buying a heating and air conditioning business, it really doesn't matter. You don't even have to be a plumber or a heating and air conditioning expert, or if you're buying an automotive franchise, you don't have to be an automotive expert. You don't have to know how to fix cars. That's the beauty of franchising. They will teach you how to do all of those things. So again, when you have a team, it's much easier to get started and ramped up quickly. Another advantage of buying franchises is many people don't realize that when you are doing something that you are starting out on your own, the bank will not give you money. Franchises are, again, a proven system, and the banks know which ones they are willing to lend to. So when you're looking at starting a franchise or buying a franchise, people have already tested and proven, and it has a success. Doesn't mean that going to business is any easier because you choose to start from scratch or you choose to buy from a franchise or buy a franchise. It's still your money. It's still your risk. There's still, the fear of opening a business. And the real truth is, I have friends that own businesses that they started from scratch, and I have friends that own businesses that have bought a franchise. They both have problems, but the problems are their own. They're probably no different. The nice thing when you buy a franchise is you have a franchise family, and you also have your franchise business coach and people who have been through what you've been through. When you go into business for yourself, you have advisors that you can lean on. So it's really a matter of personal choice. What is better for you? What is easier for you? Is starting from scratch easier? Or is buying something that's really existing and allowing you to go in and be in business for yourself, but not by yourself? When you are going or starting a business on your own from scratch, if you fail, hopefully you won't, but if you fail, the failure is yours. When you buy a franchise, I'm not saying that there aren't ever failures, because there are, but what I will say is the franchisor works overtime at trying to prevent that failure, because they really want their success record to be evident to to the world. It doesn't help them to have you fail. I actually had a client recently that he was exploring some franchises, and he said to me, well, if I'm not doing X by year 2, they're going to send in somebody to work with me and make sure this, that, and the other thing. And I said, and is that a problem? And he said, well, I think I should be able to keep trying on my own. And I said, but that's not what you're paying for. You are paying for that support. And what they're saying is if you're not here by year 2, we're going to do what we can to help you get to where you need to be so that you will feel successful. Because feeling successful and being successful are one and the same thing. They want you to make money because it helps them make money. They don't want you to fail because it makes them look bad. There is what's called an FDD, Federal Disclosure Document, and they have to put in that Federal Disclosure document how many failures they have had. Too many failures, not enough other people are going to want to join that franchise. So they will help you be successful. This past weekend again, I was at Women Creating Wealth and Impact doing a workshop, and people were so good about their questions. One question a young lady asked is, she said, so when you buy a franchise, I guess it really means that you're not an entrepreneur. And I said, oh no, absolutely not. Actually, if you look up the definition of entrepreneurship in the dictionary, it is all about what are you putting your money into to create a business. And when you are buying a franchise, you are still very much an entrepreneur. Franchisors do not want you to be following them around like you have a nose ring. They really want you to come with your own personality and your own values and take what they've created and make it your own. You could look at all the franchise advisors out there, and you will see that we're not all created equal. We all approach our clients in a different way, and we all come in different sizes and shapes. So we are all entrepreneurs no matter what. So if you've been thinking about that, going to business for yourself, I can never make it easier. I can help you do enough exploration so that you can decide. Many people don't know that my services are at no charge. I'm more like an executive recruiter. If you would like more information, click on the link below, and I would just love to talk to you.